everybody, this is Mad Max again. Broadcasting live from Chillicothe, Ohio again. And we just wanted to take a few minutes to pause the humor a little bit and talk about something that's more near to our hearts. Our pets. Yes, there was an incident this week. Is Friday. Our house was busted into by Chillicothe police and took our dog and took every one of our cats. To read that article, you would think the residents of this address are a bunch of monsters. Well, the fact is, the woman that takes care of those cats has the support of 2 local area veterans and veterinarians. And I don't think they'll put, they have 40 years practice. I don't think they'll put their reputations on the line for an animal abuser. This woman basically has no life of her own. She's always outside on the porch, cleaning, feeding, and taking care of those cats as best as she can. And this is all out of her own pocket, folks. There are records. There is records to prove all of this expenses coming from her. Now, this brings about another question. Now, why would somebody have that many cats in the first place? And how did they get there? Well, that comes to opens another can. Well, you see, somebody comes to your house, drops off cats at your doorstep. You wake up, they're there. Or some child comes to your door with cats that they had found in a trash can, on the railroad tracks, in the alleyway. What do? You call the Humane Society, you call the local area animal shelters, and what do they tell you? No room, understaffed, or some other thing. Well, anyway, this woman is in trouble for doing a civic duty. Not really a civic duty, but she takes care of these cats out of her own heart. She doesn't have to do any of this stuff. But folks, the reason I'm telling you all of this is because this could be you. You could be taking care of animals and stuff, and people raid you. And the shame of it is, you got your animal shelters that are funded by taxpayers' money. Yours, mine, everybody around you. They are funded by your money. Now, exactly how much of that depends on your city, your state, wherever you happen to be. But the fact is, what are they doing with your money if they're not taking in these animals that you call and have them to come pick up? Now, I'm telling you, 44 cats seems like a lot. Well, it is, and it's a real handful to take care of by yourself, and that's exactly what this woman did. She didn't have to do any of this stuff. She does it because she wants to, and she thought it was the right thing to do because nobody would do it, including the Humane Society, including some of the animal shelters that she's called. Now all of a sudden you hear of a raid like this, and in one of the shelters that's previously stated that they didn't have any room, suddenly you find out they do have room. And then there's a veterinarian on there that tells everybody that he has the cats on their way to recovery. Well, I got to tell you something. Those cats, the least of one had been on medications at least 5 days prior. I mean, it's just not right, folks. And it's not right for the folks to suddenly get kudos for a job that they did not do in the first place. Had they had come out here and taken the cats when they were requested to do so, there wouldn't have been that many. There might not have been any at all. But who's to know that now? But now this woman is facing going to court. Over what? This is the same thing. Like I said, it is something that could happen to you. It could happen to anybody. They don't want to do their jobs, and they want to persecute somebody that is doing the job that they were supposed to be doing in the first place. That's what oh yeah. And another thing, you probably read about the dog that was in the house by itself. She was under an air-conditioned environment, a very anyway, she was in a very comfortable environment the whole 7 years that she's lived at this address. This dog has been spoiled rotten. But the fact is, this dog was in an air-conditioned environment where she was busted in by Chillicothe police and taken from her home, that she's the only home that she's ever known in 7 years. Folks, this is wrong, and it shouldn't happen to any animal. Now she's in the animal shelter, scared, and wants to come home. And they want to talk about animal cruelty. I think somebody needs to reevaluate themselves. Thank you, folks. That's what I got to say.